Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Absorbing Man Wave. We're looking today at the Edge of Spider-Verse Spider-Man. Seems Spider-Man, whenever we get a figure treatment, he always comes with the most level of accessories, and this Spider-Man is no different. He comes with a ton of interchangeable hands, he comes with an alternate head, which appears to be Carnage, and he comes with both arms required for Absorbing Man. Now I know what you're saying, we've already got both arms from Absorbing Man, but these arms are a little bit different, allowing you to mix and match depending on how you want to have him designed. Package-wise, on the one side we've got Spider-Gwen, flip on the other side there we've got Spider-Man there. And on the back, I love this artwork. I really like the look of it. And those are figures as opposed to artwork, I guess. But I love how they've included this on the back. It's really different. It's just something different as opposed to just having the figure standing there. When radioactive spiders are turned loose in the lab, these scientists obtain web-slinging superpowers. Other figures available down below, there's Edge of Spider-Verse Spider-Man, Edge of Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen. We have Villains of the Night, Morbius, Villains of the Night, Jack-O-Lantern, Venom, which funny enough, Venom has no title next to him. Doesn't say anything. It should say like Spider-Man squashing Venom. Superior Foes of Spider-Man Beetle, Superior Foes of Spider-Man Speed Demon. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, however, we're going to get a better look at the Edge of Spider-Verse Spider-Man. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Let's have a look at the arms that come with Spider-Man. He comes with a regular bare arm for Absorbing Man, and he also comes with a metal arm for Absorbing Man. But as you can see, he does come with both arms. I guess really by that logic, you didn't even need to build or buy all 7 figures. You could really theoretically buy 5, because Spider-Gwen only comes with the battering ram or the wrecking ball. And if one of these figures comes with technically both arms, you really only need 5 figures to build Absorbing Man. Let's revisit the figure arms that we had a look at for Absorbing Man. We've got kind of a metal arm, which I think is my choice pick for at least one arm, especially if he's going to be holding a wrecking ball. The whole idea of him being Absorbing Man is he's absorbing things that he's touching. So, wrecking ball, metal arm makes perfect sense. As for the other arm, I'm not quite certain. Again, you've got the more regular, unaffected arm. And then just by comparison, we've got also this stone arm that came with, trying to think here, came with Morbius. And we've also got like the tree arm. Well, I can't really use the same arm as the metal arm, so wood arm I guess is kind of out of the question. Unless you could find a way to rotate this around, but there would be no way that that's possible, I don't think so. Sadly, the wood arm would have to be sacrificed in this. I could go with like the stone arm. That's kind of a nice touch. I've almost kind of been partial to the idea that if he's not really touching anything at the moment, maybe I would actually just give him the bare arm, all things considered. So that being said, none of Morbius's arms are going to be used. I'm so sorry, Morbius. Thanks for coming to the party, though. What we're going to do is we're going to take the metal arm. We're going to attach that to Absorbing Man. Yeah, some would say, gee, Spot, you're awfully boring with your choices. But you know what? My logic of thinking with this is he's going to be holding the wrecking ball in one arm. This other arm I can't see being affected by anything unless he's already previously touched something, so I'm going to kind of leave it as is. The beauty of it, though, I mean, they're fairly easy to change out. You know, you just want to pop, as I say that, you want to just pop the arm out and just change out to the one that you need. And then if 1 month you decide to yourself, you know what, I feel like he's been, you know, I want to give him like a stone arm, I might just do that. You know, I can just change that out on a whim. So that's where he looks like right now. Still need the head, yes, but Absorbing Man I think is coming along rather nicely. And just to kind of give you a size comparison so far, he is a lot bigger than the Spider-Verse Spider-Man. Moving that out of the way. Having a look at Spider-Man, pretty good looking figure. You would hope that in a Spider-Man very heavy wave that you would at least get one Spider-Man somewhere in there. And we've got the Spider-Verse Spider-Man, which has always been kind of an interesting costume for me. Kind of like a love-hate relationship for me, I got to admit. The big spider has never been big crazy about, nor have I really liked the half Spider-Man web leg print, which also carried over to the fingers, but it's different. It's different enough that I think still was a kind of a fun costume. Not one of my personal favorites, granted. That title would go to the Scarlet Spider, but you know what? Yeah, I think as it works, it's pretty cool. It's also a continuation of using the same mold as what we got with the Spider-Man, with the pizza-eating Spider-Man. It's also the same body that we got with Speed Demon. Exact same, just other than, you know, the spider hands aren't present. It's the same fist, however, other than just a little bit of a swap out for paint. The perfect body for Speed Demon. It's an excellent body for Spider-Man here. There are a couple of different options to also choose from in the way of the spider hand category. You have more of an extended hand. Of course, you can have 2 web shooting hands, which is not usually my fallback at all. Another open palm, and another closed fist, depending on your preference. You also have a couple more, well, more symbiote hands with the extension of those extra blades on their fingers. So what we can do is we can just pull out the hands from their pegs, just like that. Go ahead and change the hands to the ones that we want. Despite the fact that they are larger fingers, they are still, same rules apply. Thumbsies go in. There we go. And you're thinking to yourself, gee, that doesn't seem quite right, Spot. What are you doing here? Well, what you can also do, too, is pull off Spider-Man's head from the ball joint, and you can replace it with a more Venom-esque look. And we want to just... It's a little bit harder because, unfortunately, the ball joint sits on a hinge. See, as you push down on the ball joint, the hinge kind of wants to move around a bit on you. You just want to apply a little bit of pressure. There we go. And you got that in place. I feel like this head has been reused from the Carnage before. I don't know if did I say Venom-esque or Carnage-esque? But the Carnage head does look like it's been reused before. While I'm not super crazy on sometimes the choice of bodies that they use, which I'm sure I'm going to touch base on when we get to the Venom, the paint is always exceptional. That head is awesome. Now the head I'm going to probably display Spider-Man with, granted, but it's still a pretty cool looking head. That being said, let's go resume back to trying to change the head back to Spider-Man. There we go. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. Pop the hands out. Pop the other hands out. And let's go back to the default here. There we go. The choice of Spider-Man head, I'm sure, has also been reused before. I can't imagine this being a first-time outing for this particular head. Paint, for the most part, actually, while this could have been a very doomed figure when it came to the paint department, other than a little couple of splotches areas, it's a pretty clean-looking figure. The blue's a nice touch. I like the color of that blue, and even like the webbing on the legs is very clean. Just for a few little nicks here and there. Poseability on Spider-Man. His head is on a ball joint, but also on that hinge joint that we were discussing. So you got a lot of extra range of motion that way. Shoulders hinge out, but you've also got the additional shoulder, I don't know if you want to call it shoulder swivel or shoulder crunch, that is in the socket area that only appear usually on Spider-Man's or any figure that's lucky enough, like Speed Demon, to use the same body mold. Swivel point in the bicep. He's also got a double hinged elbow. A hinge in the hand, which also pivots the hand back and forth. He's got an upper torso crunch. And even like moving the torso as far back as you can see, the spider emblem, I can pleasantly say, has been finished all the way up. Something small, yes, but something I appreciate, and thank you, Hasbro, for doing that. A swivel point in the waist. And as for the legs are still that ball joint, which I so love. And I wish Jack-o'-lantern could have had that. Top thigh cut swivel, double hinged knees, and a hinge in the foot, which also pivots back and forth. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Does whatever a spider can. He's kind of like, well, he is exactly like, you know, the likes of Iron Man. Usually you'll always get at least one Spider-Man, you'll always get one Iron Man. And while I think Iron Man's get a little more tiresome after a while, Spider-Mans have enough costumed options out there that you can change out and give them something different. This particular costume, while not maybe necessarily my favorite, is a costume I think looks really good on this particular figure. It's very clean. The alternate head is a nice touch, as well as the ton of different hand options that this Spider-Man comes with. This Spider-Man, I think, is a win, if you ask me. Speaking of win, if you guys are interested in picking this figure up as well as the rest of the wave, you can click the link down below and head over to Entertainment Earth, currently having this figure and the other figures in stock. So if you want to pick them up, I definitely would say pick up this particular wave. So far, it's one of my personal favorites. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.